Fisher House provides a home away from home for families of injured soldiers while their loved ones receive vital care. Susan Strobino stayed at a Fisher House in Georgia for months while her son Jay was treated for serious injuries. She's here today to talk about her experience and raise awareness for the fundraising efforts to build a Fisher House right here in Connecticut. Nice to have you back here, Susan.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your son and his injuries.
Well, no one's prepared for the call
that
we got. And when you receive it, you go on automatic pilot. Your goal is to be with your child, your daughter, your son, your husband, automatically. But the reality is there's a lot of financial concerns.
Sure.
So my family, my husband, my daughter, and I got on a plane and got to my son's location once he got to the States after his injuries were stabilized, if you will. With the intent that would be there for a weekend to collect him and bring him home.
Sure.
That wasn't the case. He needed weeks in the hospital and months in rehab. That wasn't what we were prepared for.
Sure. And Jay was in the Army. He's retired now, but how did he get hurt?
He had combat injuries. He was shot 13 times at close range and sustained multiple orthopedic injuries, and requiring surgery, rehab,
sure,
as I say, hospital stays and intensive care. So wanting to stay with him was obviously, first and foremost, but financially it was just unbelievable what we were going to have to endure. The Army stepped in and said, "Do you know about the Fisher House?" We didn't. And they told us it's very much like a Ronald McDonald House. You can stay here for free while your son, daughter, family member is in the hospital, and we will assist you.
And you were there for several months.
Over 2 months. Over 2 months. I stayed in a lovely, clean, safe, private living quarters, and I also had the availability of a laundry room, a living room, a kitchen,
that's great. It's so
a computer room,
right? Sure.
And I was close to my son. And this was for free. I didn't have an added burden, an added worry of financial concern, sure, as I was trying to have this emotional concern.
Absolutely.
Of was my son going to be okay?
And we were looking at some pictures. We saw Jay in the hospital.
Yes.
We saw him in combat. And the beauty of that is that your daughter was able to stay,
Yes,
and your husband also was able to stay.
Exactly. Exactly.
We have the picture of your daughter and your son now. How's he doing today, Jay?
He's doing very well. He's doing very well. And we often reflect on what a time it was for us. We got through this together as a family, and we got through this with other families because you're all going through this. And the Fisher House lends this type care to everyone to come together and support each other.
Sure.
Because it's a communal situation. You have private living quarters attached, but you have communal living room and dining room, and it's nice to sometimes share with each other and help each other
if you're going
through this
the
tough
same
time.
Type of things. So we're in the process of getting a Fisher House here in Connecticut.
Yes.
What's your reaction to that?
I'm elated,
sure,
that other families can have the support that I had, that my family had, and other soldiers, Army, Navy, Air Force, all branches of the service utilize this, not just the Army.
Right.
All branches.
So it's going to take a little bit of money to get the Fisher House here, but there is an option for you. We are taking part with the Dancing with Our Heroes event. It's happening in September. In fact, we could put some information up on the screen if you want to take part. We've been talking about it for months. It's going to be a great event. You could visit dancingwithourheroes.com. And of course, to learn more about the Fisher House Connecticut, log on to fisherhousect.org and you'll find all the information there. You could already start voting for your favorite heroes online. So check out that website. It's going to be a great night. And Susan, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.